What an idiot. I thought I was live, guys. What's up, historians? Adam, the Historian Ghost Hunter here. Historically Haunted Vodcast, Season 5, Episode 25, Take fucking 2. I thought I was live for the last 5 minutes, and so did my guests. So anyway, we're live now, Ryan. Someone's even watching already. Comment in the comments, guys. Thank you for tuning in real quick. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate my sponsor from the Clown Motel 3. There's 2 movies. They're both on Tubi, but 3's coming out, 3 Ways to Hell, and that's a sponsor for the next month. Actress, model, professional photographer, aerialist. She's also small business owner at Rebel Yell Photography. Actress, model Mary Kate. And she sent me a picture of her sign for Clown Motel 3. Couple bucks for sponsorship. Poster signed by half the crew. Look at all these clowns, these psycho fucks. And of course, his t-shirt with the back. The back is the poster sign. What's up, Shine Thomas? Hi, I was live for 4 minutes, and I think I was. Shine Thomas is a good friend of rapper Yellow Wolf's mother, Sheila. That's I get to know Miss Shine. I appreciate you tuning in, man. I appreciate it. So, without further ado, real quick, I had an intro, didn't I? Oh, Ryan, I swear to God, this isn't you. It's me. I owe you one on this one. I owe you a steak dinner or something. So, real quick, guys, because I totally don't know what I'm doing. Here's the intro. Marlon Taylor.
Hey, it's Marlon Taylor here. If you guys don't know, it's young Mike Hanlon from the 1990 version of Stephen King's It. You guys are sitting at home, you don't know what to do, you ain't got nothing to do. You know what I recommend? Go check out Historically Haunted, the Vodcast with Adam Begin. Have a good evening. Go.
So if you guys don't recognize him, Marlon Taylor is the actor. He was the young Mike Hanlon in the original Stephen King's It, the 1988 It movie. He was the black kid that stayed in town in Derry, Maine. He was what had the book, and the hand came through. That was Mike as a kid, and that was him growing up. He came to Bangor, did a thing. We smoked a joint and shit like that, so he did that intro for me. He's been on my show, too. So anyway, so without further ado, he is a filmmaker. He is a paranormal investigator extraordinaire. He's a historian as well, explorer. He's also documentarian. He's also, like I said, a photographer, filmmaker. He's also does goods and stuff. Used to make candles. I think he still does. We'll talk about that. But he also makes like wood designs, wood fixtures, stuff like that. You can buy like a little, whatever, like this, kind of like that. He didn't make that, but something like that. But he also makes 3D printing, 3D art. Very cool. What's up, Thomas? Thought I was live for the first 5, dude. That's what I get for pre-smoking. I know. I just talked to Thomas earlier on the phone. What's up, weirdo? So without further ado, Ryan, who's been so patient with me, he's not going to block me, he promises. By the way, Ryan is one of my clients. I'm his booking agent, Historically Haunted Booking, LLC. If you want Ryan for a convention, for a Paracon, for a meet and greet, for a paranormal adventure, or even a podcast, message me. We'll work something out. Brian, what's up? Take 2.
Take 2. So this is a professional podcast, just so everybody knows we've got this down, right? So...
I love you, man. I love you. We've been friends for a long time. You joined up with me. You were proud, and I'm so proud to have you. And I appreciate, you already know me, so that's half the battle. Fucking right. How are you, Ryan?
Good. Keeping real busy. Hitting up the Paracons hard this year with the 3D art stuff. A couple of large ones throughout the year.
Hanging out at the Hinsdale house I see currently?
Oh, yeah. Totally live there. I wish.
We'll talk about that, too. I want to get all into that, but I knew that house right away. Of course, Danny and Klaus and all them. Glass owns it. So for those, let's start real quick. For those of you that know Ryan, he has been on my show before. Like I said, he is an independent filmmaker and all that good stuff. What's up, Jim Brown, Tombstone Paranormal, of course, Stomach Patrick. What's up? Like I said, Shine. Right off the bat, Ryan, tell our audience, for those that are just tuning in or are going to see it on the replay on YouTube, who's Ryan, man? What's Ryan about? What got you started, brother?
Man, long story, kind of.
Loaded question.
Started doing, kind of. But honestly, like, I know they get a bad rap a lot in the paranormal field, but what really started it for me was Ghost Adventures, man, because that started airing when I was in high school, and everybody was doing something on a Friday night. My relaxed time was come home 9:00 p.m., turn on that, what was it, on Sci-Fi or Travel then? I think it was Sci-Fi Network.
Sci-Fi.
Yeah, and turn that on, watch that. And then a couple years later, I read Nick Groff's book, and that was kind of like the inspiration that's like, you know what? Because he was really encouraging people to, like, experiment for themselves and go out and try it. So I'm like, let's see what happens. And the funny thing is, like, located in Maryland, I'm like, oh, I'll see what I can find locally. But I put out like an ad. I think it was on like the local Facebook pages or something at the time. And this one guy had reached out to me, and we kind of partnered up. and we ended up, of all places, on the West Coast, starting out in Nevada. So
Ooh.
yeah, he liked to take winters out in the West Coast, Nevada, California area. So we ended up going. He was already driving out there, and I had flown out into Vegas, and he picked me up at the airport. And then we ended up going through. We ended up actually staying at the Clown Motel while we were out there, so that was a cool experience.
Yes, it's the real
Yeah.
place. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
real place.
But
Oh, that's cool. So a little bit of Route 66, right? Is that what that's off of? I think?
a little bit, yeah. And we ended up going to. We actually were in Goldfield, and it's a tiny little town. Everybody knows everybody, and of course, knowing we're not from there, they're like it's always truckers that pass through that town. So we're in the little gift shop, right? And the cashier happened to be, I think they were the owner of the gift shop, and they happened to be the key holders for the historical society. So my first experiences anyway were the Goldfield High School. So it's like right behind. So like the hotel, if you're in Goldfield, the hotel's here, and there's like a road here, and like a little zigzag. The high school's right there. So
No way.
ended up doing that. Yeah, it's such a small town that there's a fence around the building, and the police station, old school police station with the round globes that say police on it. They were walking across the street, and they were like, can we help you with stuff like that? Because I guess they get trespassers once in a while in that building or whatever. But it's such a small town. We're just like, oh yeah, Bob let us in. Oh, why didn't you say so? Just that kind of a small. Everybody's on a first name basis.
They all fucking know Bob.
Yeah. Oh, why did you say so? Have fun. But yeah, that was like the first experiences that I had was going out that way, and then basically right after Dan had got Hinsdale, I had that booked, and then the guy that I was partnered with, we kind of split ways, and I was like, well, that's not gonna, that's gonna be the end of that. And I was so disappointed in that, and then I ended up going there anyway with some other local guy that wanted to try it out. So that was 2016, I think it was. Might have been 2015. Okay. I think it was 2016. But man,
it wasn't quite as popular as it is now. It's a lot more known now. That was kind of it was still known then, but not as. Now it's all. But you know what I mean? Yeah, it was kind of under the radar. That's cool. I dig that.
And it was such an experience too, because like when we got there, we had our little tour and stuff like that the daytime tour, and before they let us go for the night, they were like, if it gets quiet and nothing's really happening, just mind your own business and the house will take over. So okay, keep that in mind. And I remember I had it on camera. Well, I had the reactions on camera, but I had the staircase goes up, and I had the device at the time I called Evie that filmed like 360. I had that in front of the stairs, and one camera aimed up and one like back at us. And all of the cameras were on a big external battery, so they should never die during this whole thing. They record while they charge. And I remember we were just sitting at the kitchen table, and I was turned like that. He's the other guy's facing me, so like the profile of the stairs is in our peripheral vision. And there was no power upstairs, except for an extension cord going upstairs. There's still no power on the second floor of that house because it was actually gutted of all the electrical. Because before Dan got it, the house was going to be a controlled demolition by burning, so they were getting rid of copper. But the staircase had like a flash, like an old time like 1920s pan flash that they would hold up for like the cameras and stuff, the old school kind of flashes. Yeah. And I was like, there's no, like, we both saw it, and it kind of caught our attention, and I checked like the footage from the static camera that was like way in the back room. Actually, in the picture, it was in this window right here that I'm pointing at, and that camera didn't catch it. Like I put the image through a whole bunch of spectrums, and it didn't catch it. And so I went to check the camera that was recording up the stairs, and it was powered on, but it had stopped recording. So it's like something actually hit stop on that. So didn't catch it. I caught our reactions on camera, but did not catch that flash. And that was the first time that I'm like, okay, there's something to this. And ever since then, that particular place has just called me back more and more and more. And everything I've done over the last like 10, 11 years there just keeps stacking up, and it just kind of like changes every single time. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure of the paranormal. It's different every time.
That's cool. Well, if
Yeah.
you think about it too, I mean, the fucking land itself, they even said it's Native American type of shit. So you could have entities from 1800s, 1900s, fucking Native Americans. Even so, you get a mixture of where you're at with the stuff that's happened there. It's a melting pot. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean, that's like the documentary I was asking. Chelsea Gill was kind enough to lend her time to be part of it. Yeah, and she was even. I'm like, I need to know if they're aware, like what's outside is aware of what's inside. And the way she put it is, there's kind of like a melting pot, but they're not necessarily like aware of each other. So it's almost like it's almost like a double negative photo, like a double exposure photo, where both images are there, but they don't know that the other one's there.
Oh, that's a trip. That's a trip. That's a mind fuck. Yeah.
And actually, if you remember the tones that I caught, that were like, it was almost like a Morse code that we had caught on the SB7.
The video I shared.
Yep, which I've never had that happen anywhere else. And that particular place, it turns out, like upstairs in Beth was downstairs. It was upstairs in Laura's room. I had an old school tape recorder, and that was just recording just a typical cassette magnetic tape. And there's usually the old tape recorders, when there's like no recording, you get that hiss of the white noise.
Oh.
And there's like the white noise, and then you hear, this was probably like 5 years prior to catching those tones, you hear like a bup 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 bup, like in the same pattern. And after that recording, like after that stops, I was like, oh, the tape is over, but it was still on, but there's no white noise at all. So it plays for about 5 seconds with no white noise whatsoever.
But what the fuck?
I know. I was, because I thought that was the end of the tape, and then I heard the recorder click, and I'm like, no way, that was actually still playing. It's just silent.
No way.
Yeah.
What the fuck? See, that's what I mean too, because you're not a debunker. I mean, you are. You're not just going to go, ooh, a noise. Like, you really want the answers, which is different. Right. Real quick, I want to say hi to everybody checking in. What's up? Anthony's part of the crew. He knows Mary Kate very well, and his old lady. They're going to be on the show in about a month. Irene, you know Medium Irene? She's the Private Eye. She's part of it.
Yeah.
She's
we actually met in Ohio at a mutual friend was having a event, like a mystical event, and we met there.
Oh, right on. She's part. I represent her too. I met her at the Warren convention, and that was it. She's been so. That's what I like. I don't want to just have people to have people. I'm not trying to turn it on me. But what I'm saying is like what you're into and shit. Like it's the real deal. You know what I mean? Brandon sending stars like he does every week. Another client of mine, Viper Paranormal. What's up, Emerlyn Allen? We did. Irene, giving you props. She's a good shit. She knows her stuff. So Danny, you know him owning the house and stuff. Obviously, you know him very well. But like you said, you know, you do this. Obviously, you got into it. I'm jumping all over the place here, but you got all into it for the reasons where everybody else does. But you've taken that with respect and taken the jelly beans and and you're really like with your film directing with the Hinsdale House. You want the answers. You're going in deep. You're not just going next. You know, like the Hinsdale House keeps calling you back because there's 5,000 reasons why.
Right. And I put off season 2 for a few years. Actually, I was in the middle of. So in season 1, I was connecting it to potential like UFO stuff, and that's when we did the experiment. And that I actually had potential reason, just one of the largest like local areas to there that's I could think of that's tied to me and that house would be like Point Pleasant for UFO activity. So season 2 starts out in Point Pleasant, and I was actually on the way there when basically the state started shutting down for the pandemic. So I remember.
Oh shit!
I was actually like an hour away when our hotel called and canceled because they were shutting down for the pandemic. So that was like right on that border.
2019, 20, whatever. Yes,
it was like the end of March 2020. Yeah. So that
they refunded you, right?
yeah. But
I've never heard of a kid. Wow.
Yeah, that's when I started filming it, and the weirdest part there is that whole area where the domes are, that's all like protected land. It's like a wildlife preserve area. And I don't remember if like the state government or maybe the county owns it, but it's all basically like private protected like wildlife land. And it got scary there because there were these guys driving around that had, I don't know what kind of dogs, but they had like hunting dogs. But there's nothing when we were there that's in hunting season, like trapping dogs, I guess they were. And you're not even supposed to be on those grounds doing stuff like that. So there's actually like footage of us in the domes, and you can hear the dogs like howling outside, and they're getting closer and closer and closer. And I remember like seeing on across the pond, the next road, you could see their flashlights and stuff, and then all of a sudden they kind of like turn their flashlights and towards us, and then the lights themselves, there was one that like went in the water, and I'm like, I don't even know if these things, like, if those are actually people over there. So we were freaked out enough that we were in Dome 2, and I had stuff in Dome 3 and I had stuff in Dome 1, and I grabbed everything I could in the wagon, and we like hauled it to the Suburban, and I grabbed the stuff real quick out of Dome 1, but I left like probably about $800 worth of equipment in Dome 3, and we came back hours later. But the weird thing is we went back a few hours later, it was there, and I reviewed the digital recorder that was on the ground. And when you think domes, you think of Mothman and the Injured Cold stuff.
And
Injured was supposed to be...
You're at TNT, right?
Yeah.
No shit. You said domes for my TNT in Virginia, Point Pleasant. Okay.
Yep, that was it. And you would think like all the depictions of like Injured Cold are like he's like kind of well dressed and stuff like that. Well, in the domes, your footsteps echo real easy. And there was, right at the end of the recording, probably about 3 minutes before we picked it up, you hear what sounds like dress shoes walking towards the recorder. And then it goes quiet, and then you hear us talking to each other as we're walking toward, you hear our voices in the distance. So we were walking towards that dome right before that happened.
Wow, you guys got goosebumps.
Yeah, I'm getting too, just thinking about it.
See, and that's what I mean, because there's certain areas you go. I'm glad we still got plenty of time, because I got tons of questions for you. Wow, that's a bucket list of mine to get to that. For they say UFOs for the Mothman, just for whatever Point Pleasant TNT that gets radiation. Supposedly a lot of crimes happen there, a lot of like murders and shit happen there, I guess, in the 60s. So, so it was just you and one buddy, and you guys just load up a car and fucking win?
It was me and my girlfriend Maria at the time. We were by ourselves there, and man, that was. And the whole time, like, I'm going to talk about it in the series, and I'm like, it just felt like something's trying to stop us from getting anywhere with this stuff. But like, we didn't really catch any evidence or anything like that. But that experience of just like, there's weird stuff happening here. Like, we hauled out of there, and just like, I've never, even in Hinsdale by myself, I've never been like, I'm leaving almost $1,000 of equipment here, and if it's here, it's here. If it's gone, it's gone. I've never done that. So
you think that's probably one of your, I guess, I mean, this is a question, maybe a loaded question, and it's hard to put you on the spot, but you think this is one of your scariest situations in life all around when it comes to paranormal and just danger, I guess, situations? Is this one of your freakiest?
I think so, just because it's like when we were at Hinsdale and I caught the disembodied voices, and there's only 2 of us, and then there's like 3 voices. That was freaky, but like that was kind of like a shock surprise, kind of like what's happening, like your brain trying to process it. But that particular experience at the domes, it was like those are people with dogs that are trapping whatever they're doing. Yeah, potentially. And I mean, we drove down that road and saw the truck sitting there. So like, there's somebody here with these dogs. Something's going on. And but the weird thing is, they were going down like every row where any road would go. So it's almost like they were honing in on where we were, like one row at a time.
You're getting hunted.
Yeah, it was so weird. And like that whole area, like I said, later I was looking it up. I'm like, there's no trapping, hunting. It's a protected area. I don't know what's going on. And it's just that just knowing there's that human element there, that like we could be dealing with 5 people that are armed right now, and all I've got is a knife on me, and I could swing a tripod if I had to.
Right, and you get your chick with you, but for the most part, you know, I mean, I'm not saying she can't hold her own, but you ain't got backup. And for all you know, even if the worst case scenario, it's a couple of redneck hillbillies with no teeth that want to skull fuck you. So either way, you're fucked. I mean, either way, whether it's alien or some fucking redneck punks, you better off leaving. That's scary.
Oh yeah.
That brings me to another question, man. If you give me 2 actually. Give me a bucket list. Give me one. Now, we probably have before, but let's go again. Give me one for the States and one for like all of Europe and shit. Give me places that Ryan's gonna go before he kicks the bucket.
Ooh, I definitely want to. I want to see. I don't know if there's any, like, I'm sure there's paranormal stuff out that way to investigate too. But I've always liked Montana. I've always. No
one's ever said that, but I can remember. Wow. Okay.
I've loved it, and I've never been. I actually want to do a trip from like all of Route 66 from Chicago all the way down to California, up Pacific Coast, and then up to Glacier in Montana. But just I love it out there. Just I the furthest west that I've driven is South Dakota. So other than the one Nevada trip and California, that's about as far as I've gone and really like explored like the like Black Hills area. And it's a whole nother world out there. It's beautiful.
People don't realize the country. It's we're USA, but it's all okay. We'll before you get to before you get to Europe, real quick, I want to ask you: have you been to my neck of the woods? You've been to Stephen King's Maine?
I have not. I want to get up there. I've actually had a few chats and podcasts in the past with what the group is Haunt Me. So like Ty Gowan and that group out there.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
Yeah, they've always I've seen some pictures of them on like Facebook posting stuff, and I'm like, man, that's a beautiful area. My parents have been to a cruise that stopped in at Bar Harbor, and it's like, yeah, I want to go up there. I gotta see it. I just have to.
I'd love to. You come up, I'll give you my tours. I've taken Danny Perez and them. I've shown them Stephen King's house, where Thinner was filmed. A couple pieces of Pet Sematary were filmed, and just different shit. It's like any other state. We got our cold winters, but I think you dig it up here. You never been to Salem then either? You ever been to New England, or you have been?
I've been to Salem one time, and I would love to see it in the fall, even though it's like super crowded all the time around Halloween. But I was there for a Paracon like in it was 2018, and it was like in about this time of year. It was in April. It was still a little bit cooler weather, but it was still beautiful. And stayed at the what's that hotel of the Hawthorne, that real haunted.
Oh, you stayed at the Hawthorne Inn?
I did. Yeah.
What's her face? Did shots of Bewitched there? She stayed there. Samantha, whatever the fuck. Oh yeah, that's on Mary Bishop's old apple orchard. One of the witches hung, man. I've been there. They had a wedding meeting. My girl went through and walked through. There's some elevator tours, but I never spent the night. That's very haunted too. Wow, you stayed at the Hawthorne. I'd kiss your ring right now. That sounds royalty, brother. No, you got me jelly. All right, I'm sorry to cut you off. Give me one for Europe or like Africa or something. You got to go.
Ooh, I have to say for Europe, it's probably hands down Scotland. I just love the pictures you see and stuff like that. Like there's some like YouTubers and stuff like that. Yeah, all the castles and just the whole area and the lore that's around there. Oh yeah, Scotland for sure.
I can see you drinking a pint, wearing a kilt, doing a tap dance down the street. That'd be fucking hell. That'd be fun. So, of all the places you have
to, it's part of the experience.
That's right, man. When in Rome, as they say, right? It's not Rome, but you don't fucking you get it. Guys, we're talking to Ryan Wefelmeyer. Before we get to any more questions or anything, Ryan, why don't you plug yourself, brother? Tell people where we can find your art, find your work, and follow you.
Yeah, so I'm on pretty much all the platforms: Instagram, Facebook. Just started really hitting the TikToks hard. Trying to get everything out there, but you can find everything under Finding Phantoms. Most of my handles on like TikTok and Instagram are @findings with a Z and then the number 15 tacked onto that. And then my documentaries on Amazon Video. It's the Hinsdale Archives, and season 2. I'm really hoping to. You've heard it first here. I'm hoping to release it by Labor Day.
Ooh, my birthday time, September 6th time. Awesome. You heard it here first. I'll make sure and plug that. Awesome. And of course, your 3D art.
Mm-hmm. That brand is
Sight and Sorrow.
Yep, Sight and Sorrows, and that's
I
had a website for it. And I took it down in the winter because January is always slow. But I was like, I'll take it down for the slow months. It's not worth the hosting for it. And then I've had so much going on that like it's so far out of date that I haven't updated it and reloaded it. But same thing, Facebook, Sight and Sorrow. I have that on TikTok as well. Sight and Sorrow 6 is the handle for that. And I have that on Instagram too. I had to think about that. But I have the Facebook page.
He's carrying a sickle. He's got a little tear. And fucking dude, Ryan makes the coolest like symbols to 3D ghost keychains to fucking you name it. You can probably go broke send your income tax return on the shit, but it's good stuff. I mean, I gotta ask because I don't really touch. Is it hard plastic? 3D? What is that exactly?
Yeah, it's so actually I've got this spool kind of handy right here. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you froze for a second.
The green screen kind of gets rid of the spool, but it's basically like there we go. It's basically like a filament roll. So,
I see it. I see that. Okay, not a wire, but like almost like a plastic tube roll thing or something. Okay.
Yep, and they're different colors, and I print mostly PLA, which is kind of like a biodegradable plastic. So it's actually it takes a while to biodegrade like most plastics, but it's actually derived from sugarcane. So it's actually like a natural ingredient. Some stuff that you print that you want, like maybe that you're using for a part that you want some flexibility, some strength to it, that would be like PET G and stuff like that. Those are some stronger filaments. But there's a whole bunch of, like, I can even print ABS so I can make like car parts if I wanted to.
Wow, I hear people can make fucking pianos and shit out of this stuff.
Oh, yeah. But I'm actually working to, there's a new company called Timeplast, and I'm looking into investing with them and create stuff like, there's a filament they have that's actually like a vitamin mineral, and you can print planters, and when you water the plants, the vitamins actually come up from that into the plant, and it will degrade to the point where by the time that degrades, it's ready to plant outside if you want to grow it like in your garden or something.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's
pretty wild, man. We've come a long way. It's earth friendly for the most part, right? I mean,
yeah,
it'll last longer than you, but at the same time, I mean, my guest next week, psychic medium Chris Brown, part of the historical team. What's up, brother? Guitar player for Stillborn Condition. He's a good show in Maine. So, Ryan, people can order. Can they custom order shit? Like if someone wanted, like, I don't know, maybe say a Stephen King, like a some sort of like Pennywise type of 3D art thing, you could come up with something, you think? Per se. If someone wanted to do something, they can message you and say, hey, my kid's 15, can make a fucking whatever, you know?
Yeah, I can do for the most part, I have under me a few like 3D designers that I've hired out that are under me, so that way I don't have to worry about the design stuff. But I've got custom orders that come in, right, you know, on occasion that I'll design something up. Like one that I'm working on right now is like one of those curved like mantle kind of mounts for a clock. So I've got that I'm doing. And then actually, you probably saw it, but that sword from Lord of the Rings that I had printed.
Yes.
Yeah, I gave, the guy was super happy with it. But what I'm going to do is, whether he wants it or not, I'm going to like make it for myself at least and sell it at like a show or whatever. But I'm going to do like a wood plank that actually has like the map engraved for Middle Earth from Lord of the Rings. So it's actually going to be like a whole theme thing, and the sword would sit horizontally on it like a mount. So I think
it's like
cool.
a mount. Well, before we get real quick, and that's what I'm saying too. You do also do wood art though. It's not just 3D shit. You do I saw you do other shit, and that can all be ordered through Scythe and Sorrow, right? It can all be. It's all the same. Finding Phantoms is more paranormal directing, and then Scythe is your goods type shit. You do candles anymore? You do anything like that?
No, not really. I mean, like 2 years ago or a year ago, it kind of like dried up, and just I enjoy doing it. Sometimes I still miss it, but actually I was like, I had moved on. Oop, we're frozen for a little bit.
Fucking internet squirrels aren't running hard enough. I can hear you just fine. You're stuck with your face.
I think I can hear you.
Oops. It's all right, man. It happens a lot. My Wi-Fi sucks up here, and honestly, it sucks more. You live out in Virginia, right? You live out kind of southwest or whatever. Not southwest, but he'll be back, guys.
There we go.
There he is. It happens.
But anyway, so the candle stuff, it kind of just kind of like tapered down, and I was like already doing stuff with the laser, like woodworking and stuff like that with the laser. And I was still making candles on occasion. And then I was like, I feel like I should move over into fully focusing on like the laser work and stuff like that and the graphic stuff. And then like 3 days later, I got an email from a supplier of mine that was out in California that was giving me like all my ingredients for my wax and stuff. And they're like, hey, we closed up shop. So they couldn't make it anymore. So I'm like, well, I guess there goes that was my sign right there. It's like, all right, it's time to move on, put it up on. Yep. I'm like, let somebody else get into it. Like, and all the stuff that I had it probably was like $400 worth of stuff. And I just threw it up on one of those, like swap and trade places. I'm like, anybody that wants it, just free. I don't care. Just if you've been looking for a melter, get into it. Yeah. I'm like, that way I don't have to deal with it. Somebody can, grow their business or start their hobby with basically no risk. So
that's good karma, and it's another trait you have under your belt. Even if you ever use it again, it's something you know how to do and you can pass on. But at least whatever, man. That's big of you. And you were great at it, but like you said, you're on to bigger and better, and fucking whatever, man. That's I dig that. I just wasn't sure. I don't want to promote you as a candle maker. I was like, fuck, I haven't seen anything in a long time. I didn't want to assume. So I'm glad we know. But you're great at what you do. I love like the shield you made and shit with your art. I'm always checking. I love you know me. I'm always sharing your stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
I love it. So do you ever see yourself possibly writing a book or doing like a how-to of this stuff, or just writing like a memoir thing or something?
I've actually started thinking about. I've been looking at like how attention flows through like social media and stuff like that, and I'm actually tossing around the idea of in a few months here, probably like 2 months, I'm going to be moving to like the next town over. So I'm going to set up a space just specifically for like the printers and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'll just throw like a live stream. People can tune in,
Ooh.
like live stream, and it's
TikTok,
kind of
if people pay that
yeah.
TikTok, they'll fucking
Oh
hit
yeah.
the start thing. You get 20 grand a month if you're lucky.
And it's so like anybody could like they could tune in and at like 8 in the morning and see the print. It'd be like that, and then like at noon they just jump back in and it's like that, and it's just kind of cool to see that progression. So like yeah, anybody could just look in on that and watch that. And I want to do a kind of a funny thing with the laser. I want to do a little skit series that's like things we shouldn't laser. So like I want to be like, hey, I'm gonna try to cut through a hot dog with this laser and see what happens. Like I'm just gonna do like stupid stuff
YouTube
like
series
that.
or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. I was thinking I'm coming into season 6 soon, and I want to do a giveaway. If you have anything you want to do a giveaway for, mail me, let me know, and I'll throw it on there. I get some clients' cards and stickers. If you have anything, little freebies, let me know. I want to do like a giveaway start off, and I want to represent all my clients, my people. I want to get all my people up here to Maine next year, do a Stephen King thing, and have all my clients.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So that brings me to another question, because you know me, I'm a King guy. Do you have any favorite Stephen King books and or movies, or both, one of each?
I have to go with like I love all the classics, like the Pennywise stuff, and all the Stanley Hotel. I love the classics, but I think my all-time favorite is Shawshank Redemption.
Oh my God, what a story!
Yeah,
that's based off the prison, Thomaston Prison, which is gone now. There's a wall there, but he writes about Thomaston if you read the book, he actually writes about it. And I've been there. And down the street from the Thomaston Prison is the bridge that they drove on in the movie Thinner that he wrote with the gypsies when he gets in the car crash. Sorry, I went off subject. I'm a Stephen King nut. That's cool though. People say Green Mile a lot, but Shawshank's a rough one. But that's cool you say that. I can respect. Have you read it or the movie you're saying? Or both?
I've read the book like halfway through and just never got like past that half point. But the movie, I mean the movie actually was filmed at Ohio State Reformatory, and investigating there is I've been there several times. That place is amazing, and shout out to like Greg who runs the tours and stuff there. Him and his wife, keep that place in tip top shape. But that place is so cool, and actually the movie saved it by like a half hour from the wrecking ball. That place, I
didn't know that. They wanted to take it down?
The building, so it was the main prison, and then like the outbuildings behind it. Those buildings are gone, and I think the crew had shown up like a week or two before and were interested in filming there, and the construction crew that was there was like, it's coming down, so you better hurry up on it. And they literally, when they showed up on site, they had the record there, and the operator was in there. So they missed it by like 15 minutes. They were about to take it down.
Well, no shit. And since it was in the movie that garnished money for tours, and of course, it opened up the history, and the rest is history, no pun intended. Wow. That's pretty wild. Yeah. Cool. I got to bring you to Stephen King's house. I need a picture of you in front of the gate now, the spider gate in front of his house in Bangor. That's dope, man. I respect that. What's your favorite book? Is it The Shining or I'm sorry, Shawshank?
Favorite book. I'm not a huge reader, but I think the either that or The Shining. I think Shawshank or The Shining. Like I like those books. And if I really feel like settling down with something, I'm gonna go with I can picture the cover. It's kind of like voodoo dolls and stuff on the cover, and it's
I'm not Needful Things, is it? Or
no, it's an older book, and it's a pretty colorful, like cartoonish cover. I can't think of the name of it. I actually found it at like a used bookstore, and that's how I.
Well, that's the thing. They always have 40 different covers for these fucking books. And
I know. I'd have to find it, but that's kind of how it all started, because I saw that one in there's like a rare and used bookstore down probably about a half hour from here, and that's basically the first Stephen King book I ever got was from there.
I love that. So where does Ryan see himself 2026? Do you see yourself maybe making more sales, more haunted things, maybe some conventions, talk shows? What are you thinking? Traveling?
I want to get back into traveling. It's been too long doing, kind of just recovering from the pandemic. Everybody's kind of like been stressing out everywhere about the economy and money and stuff like that. And the pandemic really did set everything back like 5 years. It was crazy. But
I see that the other day. My boy, the pandemic really put us back a little bit, even though the prices skyrocketed.
Yeah.
It put us back to 19. Yes, thank you, Ryan. God damn, thank you. It did.
But I want to do 2026 and maybe like second half of this year, more traveling. I want to start booting back up into the filming, do more in filming, and focus on like the merch and stuff like that. Do like 4 or 5 big events a year and just like leave it at that. I've got a couple stores local to me, so just keep some inventory in there, let that kind of autopilot, and then do the events.
But you mean, for the most part, if the price is right, you can get a place to stay, crash, or whatever. Someone's willing to maybe comp some, as your booking agent, is if someone's willing to comp maybe some gas mileage or some hotel fees, you're willing to travel almost anywhere and put your in and talk. I mean, are you open to speak? Because I mean, obviously you've done so much shit, man. In the way you hold yourself very high, are you willing to be a speaker at a convention? I'm a speaker.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty tit. Just take some edibles and go up there.
Yeah, I haven't done much in the way of speaking, but actually, it's yet to be announced. So another first for this podcast, but it's Podographs that Tim Miley and his wife they run that. So I'm actually going to be for the 2026. Yep, in Houghton Lake. I'm going to be there for April of 2026.
Oh, you gotta fucking tell your booking agent this shit. That's awesome. I got a little. No shit. I know it sounds crazy, but I got little notebooks with all my people in it, their dates. Like a little secretary. It's fun. I love you guys. I'm not gonna fuck you over, and I want to get the best for you because I see what's in you guys. I trust you guys, and I want the world to fucking know you guys. My part of the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I got your back, and I'm proud to hear that, and you'll do fine. It's fucking nerve wracking, but once you start going and people are smiling at you, dude, fucking you got this, Ryan. So good, man. Because you're a man of many hats. Well, what's your favorite thing to do, man? Is it making art? Is it making goodies? Is it paranormal? Is it all of it? Directing, researching?
Man, it's got to be a little bit of everything. Like the 3D stuff, I can get into that, and I love building stuff and watching an idea come to life. But like when it comes to filming and stuff, as much as I think it'd be cool to like take part in film projects and stuff, whenever I'm like, hey, I want to take part in that program or whatever you're doing, everybody thinks, oh, you want to be in front of the camera. Like I prefer being behind the camera because when I'm behind the camera, I'm like, how can I make this shot different than anybody's done? And how can I do it? And that's. I mean, when I filmed Behind the Shadows in 2020 at Hinsdale, and that's out on Paraflix, and I think it's free to watch on Paraflix. That was actually like I got to a point where I was like to the director, I'm like, hey, what about this for this shot? And he actually at one point was like, just do it. Don't even ask me because he's like, I trust your judgment on that. So he's like, just
that's a pattern. That's a big dude. Playboy, what's up? While he runs, he does a podcast, the Apocalypse Project. Get Ryan as your guest. Message me. We'll get Ryan on your show. He's pretty open to spread the word. They're out in Arizona. They're out in California area. Get you.
Nice.
Get you talked about up there. That's pretty cool. I dig that. That to me is a pat on the back, which is I was gonna leave my next question with, not that you need false prophets, false gods, your idols, whatever. But is there anyone you do look up to in the field as far as like just making shit or filming, maybe paranormal? I know you said, Zach Bagans and them fucking guys, but as far as like filmmaking, you look up there like Romero, like George Romero and all them, or anybody, or?
I think as far as like the career field that like I would want to go with it, like the documentary style and stuff like that. Like I have to really hand it to Nick Groff though. Like he's gone from Ghost Adventures to Paranormal Lockdown. He's been through like so many things, and just it's either blown up in his face, or he's been torn down, or just got like a bad rap about
his
something.
Own way though. Every time his own way.
But every time he gets back up, and he's just as popular as the time before and stuff like that. Actually, when he started VidiSpace, when he was working for that heavily, when that came out, I was one of the first people. I think I was the first person that had acquired content instead of the live content they were doing. So I actually filmed for him for a short time.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So you've been like basically. I mean, you sounds like you've been filming for got to be a couple of years then. So, I mean, really, right?
Almost 10. Yeah.
No shit. So what got you into it, man? I mean, did you just pick it up and go, fucking here we go? I mean, you just had some sort of inspiration.
Pretty much. It was kind of like I just, I don't know. I just had like the creative feel for it, I guess. And I just bought. I remember 2016 actually sinking the money into a like DSLR camera, and that was when that showed up, and just ended up going to these places, and it started out as just taking cool pictures of like these historical haunted places and stuff like that, and then it turned into the film work, and then like I really dove into the editing. I remember when I was editing Hinsdale, I would start up at noon or something like that, and I would go through, and it felt like I was at the computer for 20-30 minutes, and it was dark outside. It was like 9 o'clock at night. It's like I just cruised through 9 hours just doing this. So
Holy shit, a work day.
yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I think I went to the bathroom once and I had a bag of chips. Where the fuck was I?
Right.
But at the same time, though, brother, that's because you get the heart, man. That's because you're not just doing it for a couple bucks or some likes on Facebook. You're doing it because it's your life. And I dig that. You live it.
Yeah.
Playboy, get a hold of me or have Reverend hit me up and I'll work out some dates and I'll message. I'm Ryan's middleman, not to be like, but I'm his middleman. I'm his booking agent. You know what I'm saying? So have Reverend hit me up. I'll get some dates that are good for Ryan. We'll get him on the show and get him promoted in California a little bit. So Ryan, we still got another 15-20 minutes, but I usually towards the end ask my guest to ask me a question. I want them to play host. You got anything you want to ask me? No holds barred, man.
Ooh. All right, I'll flip one of the questions on you, but I'm going to focus it around paranormal. Anywhere in the U.S. that you've had on your bucket list for a while that you just, if you had the chance to go, you without a second thought, you'd get in the car and head there.
Holy fuck. There's a ton that jump out at me. Hinsdale's definitely one of them. There's tons that are, but I mean, as far as the number one, oh boy, I got to start where the first ever haunting actually happened in Machiasport, Maine, believe it or not, in like 1693. A whole like 5 people in the village saw this dude's daughter when she died. They started levitating. Wow. She was in the back room, dead on the bed, but she's levitating in the kitchen, saying goodbye to her dad and everybody there, the whole town. You look it up. First, Google first ever American haunting, the Machiasport, Maine. They'll tell you. But as far as like the first big one would be Whaley House, and that's a big bucket list of mine. Is San Diego, Connecticut, or California. Mm-hmm. The guy was a judge. It was a hotel. He was a postmaster. But there's people that got hung there. There was a theater there. All this stuff in the Whaley House. If you haven't heard of it, Whaley. You must have heard of it, Ryan. San Diego, Whaley House. Yeah, that's right up there, man. I love Soldier Field. I'm a big Chicago Bears fan. Of course, King's House. I've never been in. I'm gonna go all that shit. But as far as like a place where I'm like, oh my god, I'd probably sell my car tomorrow to go would be fucking Whaley House. That gets me hot. That's pretty wild because it's fucking. If you really know, you know. And I think you're like me. Mm-hmm. You're in it to win it. You're not just in it to eat fucking gummy bears and go and say, I win here, check. You go to some places that are well documented, and I dig that. I've been to St. Albans. I've been to fucking all these places, in Gettysburg 3 times. Gettysburg makes you, oh my God. You've been to Gettysburg? The battlefield?
Oh, yeah. Oh. I'm actually, I'm doing the Battlefield Bash in July, so I'm excited to go there. And I've been a handful of times. Actually, I stayed there at, we were camping July 4th, like, on one of the, I don't remember the name of the campground, but it was basically that whole area was a battlefield at one point. The whole outside town was, yeah. So so it's July 4th weekend, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And we hear like these bangs going off, and I'm like, man, who's firing fireworks? I'm like, because I'd been asleep for a little bit, so I thought it was like 11 o'clock at night or whatever. Kind of felt later, and I look at the clock, and I'm like 4 o'clock in the morning. But fireworks, you get the pop and then the bang, so you get 2. And this was only 1, and it was like as loud as a firework. I'm like, that's cannons.
Oh my fucking God! I didn't think about people saying they hear cannonball fire too. That's right. People are still digging up cannonballs and bullets and shit sometimes. Mm-hmm. Wow. And that's normal. Cops don't come out because it just happens. And if you don't like it, it's probably the most haunted town in America besides Salem.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've been to Gettysburg 3 times. We stayed at the Eisenhower and shit, which is great. But outside, oh, Ryan. Sachs Bridge and shit, the Suicide Bridge. Oh, boy. So let's get into some fun ones. Thank you for the question. Great question, by the way. You dig, obviously, you mentioned earlier UFOs. You dig Bigfoot, UFOs, monsters, aliens, all that good shit?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, any experiences of anything?
Probably I would have to argue that when a couple times with like potential UFO stuff. So like Hinsdale, when I was doing that, we shifted the frequency in the house to kind of match like potential UFO. That whole thing, as soon as we did that, it just shifted the whole everything through SB7 was coming through. That was like not even like EVPs or anything like that was coming through. It was all like that Morse code stuff. It was all just weird.
Ooh.
And like the weird thing, and my friend Amanda, who is very sensitive and gifted in that stuff, she was under the Estes method, so blindfolded and stuff, and she kept talking about like I see this like elongated face and stuff like that, so these weird like potentially alien looking things. And then like once we closed that experiment out, it was back to the typical like paranormal kind of stuff there. But actually, another first to be released here, when I was there last time filming, so this will be like the wrap up to season 2. I was like, everything happens when you're not paying attention. So I wanted to have Overwatch, so I had security cameras that I brought with me. And first, I'm upstairs, and it was Halloween time, so like the dollar store has those motion sensor like things that like the witches that go off and stuff when something walks by and they cackle or whatever. So there was one. Yeah, there was one in the kitchen, and it kept going off, and I'm like, is that thing like vibrate sensitive or like noise sensitive or whatever? So like I was like, that's gonna freak me out like at the wrong time. So I went downstairs to turn it off, and sometimes those plastic toys, the button sticks to it. So you see me like struggling with it, and I'm like, it is off. I couldn't turn it off because it was already off, and it had gone off like 4 times. So there's that, and then a couple days later, which my theory with the aliens kind of thing kind of got proved a little bit. I have a device that it's basically like a cord that sends a signal back and forth, and it tracks time. So that, I mean, other than temperature and humidity, it might fluctuate like a 100,000th of a second or something like that. It started alarming, and I'm like, what is that? Because I've never had it go off, and it actually documented 45 seconds that time had stopped.
Whoa.
And not only that, 2 days later, my security camera timestamp started going backwards.
Wait a minute, time stopped like you froze too, you think?
Like the actual, like the recording of the living room, the timestamp that's in the corner of the filming, it started counting backwards.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I think someone knocked on my door. 1 second. All right, there's no one there. Like, I fucking lived up here for almost 3 years, and I've never had a visitor. I literally live I live up on the Appalachian Trail by Mount Katahdin and shit in Maine. I live an hour past Bangor. That's my mom died. I lived up here. Only my girlfriend comes up to visit me. No one. I'm closer to Canada than I am to Massachusetts. So, like, who the fuck's knocking on my door? No one. I'm like, there's no one.
It's the aliens.
Get my fucking gun out. I'm like, who the fuck? You about to hear gunshots again? You ain't in Gettysburg, bitch.
Right?
Come to my fucking house. You fucked up. So, especially when I've been drinking. But anyway, what the fuck were we left off? Sorry, I got flustered. I thought I heard it not.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the timestamp had stopped, like the camera had counted backwards, and there was actually there was a point upstairs that I was like preparing stuff, and one of the security cameras, I still had the alerts on it. And it was like motion alert detected. And I looked on my phone and I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's the camera upstairs. So it's not one I need to pay attention to. And then I started like looking at the snapshot of it, and I like played it and I reversed it and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not in the footage. So like it was recording me in the room, but I'm not in the footage. It's just the room empty. Yeah. So 3 accounts of potential like time shift and like stuff missing and actually like reappearing, weird stuff like that.
You in the third dimension, but like in a 3D, I mean 3D printing, no pun intended, but I mean there is such thing as, but you know what I mean? If you believe it, I mean, I believe in different wormholes and portals, and I mean, we don't know as much as we think we know. I'm sorry, dude. I'm learning new shit every day, so there's no way I don't believe that there's not teleportation or body snatchers or body doubles. Who fucking knows? Like there's people that say that someone has left the room and then they turn around, the guy came in the room in the right door. They're like, how the fuck? They're like, how did you just enter the room when you left? Like, what is happening here? So, I mean, I smoke weed, but I don't do acid anymore, so I'm not that bad. So, I gotta tell you, man, I literally love the shit that you do. What inspires you to just go, I'm just gonna make this? Do you see something and go, I'm gonna try to do that? Or does something pop in your head and go, I'm gonna do this today? As far as like your keychains and your artwork and all that shit with this. I'm hooked at this 3D printing. I love when you share your shit, man. I love sharing it because I'm like blown away. It looks so articulate, but yet seems simple. But I'm not shitting on you, but it's awesome, I think, is what I mean. What drives you?
I mean, I just I don't know. I just kind of like just see what I can make, see what I can come up with, and just I like seeing the idea come to life, and like, especially be able to be like, hey, I can print a cryptid, I can, put all this stuff out. And then the cool thing too is like taking that kind of stuff to these like Paracon events and stuff like that, and everybody's, that they haven't seen that before, or like, it's rare to see that kind of stuff around, and they get excited about it too.
That's what I mean, guys. You can watch this. It'll be on the YouTube channel, Historically Haunted Forever. It'll be in there. I got shows from fucking years ago. Ryan's at a show up, say, hey, I saw you on the podcast. Go look. He'll spread his knowledge. I mean, when you're there, obviously you're selling your goods, but you'll talk about paranormal. You'll talk about directing. You'll talk about traveling. You're an open book, and what you got is what you got to offer. So that's cool, man. You guys want Ryan? This is the time to get him. Get him this year. He's willing to go out. Let's get him on the East Coast, West Coast. Yeah, man, I'm digging that shit. So you're like an open book when it comes to going to anywhere. So I like that, because I have people like Thomas, who was in chat earlier, who runs the Salem Paracon, the Connecticut Con. I got Jeff, who does the main one. So we're gonna get you up to the East Coast if you're willing to travel. You're in Virginia, you said, right? You're
Maryland,
or Baltimore area of Maryland. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, the one time that I was in Salem, the funny part was I'm like, I'm going to avoid traffic. I'm going to get up because I have to go around like New York City and get to like Connecticut and go up. And so I was like, cool, I'm going to do that. Well, the stupid sign, I don't remember what bridge it was, but I went over a bridge and the sign for the exit's like this big and I couldn't read it. And it's like 4:00 in the morning, so I missed my exit. And I'm basically stuck, and I ended up in somewhere in New York City that like it was like detoured for construction, and I ended up kept going in circles, and it's like 4 a.m, and I'm in this freaking giant paranormal suburban. I'm just like, oh my god, this is how I die. This is it.
Oh my god, you're in a fucking nightmare. Freddy Krueger's laughing at you. Go, hold the wheel.
And the GPS is like, there's your exit. I'm like, where's the exit?
Oh my fucking god, that's pretty wild, Ryan. So you're definitely a go-getter. You're willing to travel at no expense to go, and that's the way I am, dude. I love it. Like, it's funny you mentioned that's funny. I actually, I don't know if you know, not to bring him up. Well, whatever. I'm not even gonna mention his name. He's not worth it. Me and him aren't really friends anymore. But we went actually to Iowa to go to Far School and investigate. And literally Corona happened halfway through. So we had to get like the cheapest motel ever and stay there because no one else was taking people. So this cheap ass hotel, especially we're coming from fucking Maine. We couldn't do Far School. So we went to not Joey Jordison. We went to Paul Gray from Slipknot, the bass player's grave in Des Moines, Iowa. I saw places, that's one of my favorite bands. I went to places Slipknot played. I went to the porno shop that Corey Taylor worked at before he became a singer. So we did that for a little bit. And I'm not going to lie, it wasn't too much. Of course, the road trips have the fun. Seeing sideway hotels and 24-hour stops. The way back wasn't so great because COVID was a mist. Everybody's fucking, we're all fucking, as you know, it's funny. As soon as you mention that, no one I know has really got a story like that except for you now. You and me got our ties like that. And I'm not trying to take you away from you, but when you heard that, automatically I thought, fuck, I was going to go to this investigation and cover up because it's from Maine to Iowa is like 28 hours.
Yeah, so that's a crazy drive. So
it's a long way. You know what I mean? But at the same time, then COVID hits, and then the next thing you know, everybody's flipping out, and the radio's on. Beep, 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 beep. We're all gonna die. Like, we're not that bad, but you know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway, blah 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 blah. So Ryan, yeah, man. What do you got as far as like filming? Can you spoil us at all? Is there anything new coming up? I know you talked about some spoilers and shit, but what can people expect? Some stuff they can actually see and purchase besides following you on Facebook and TikTok. As far as stuff like hard copy stuff or just social media stuff, where can people expect new stuff from you?
So I want to release season 2 for sure of the Hinsdale Archives, and my goal is to put that also on Amazon. And then for my YouTube side, I want to do there's some older footage that I've been sitting on from like Poasttown Elementary School from a couple years ago that we got some good stuff that I want to put that out there, just stuff that I want to catch up on. Maybe release some like footage that never made it into like the early stuff that I did to kind of like take everybody back in time to like when I started. But I had a friend reach out that she wanted to document some stuff that's down in like the Tennessee area. So that's a possibility of what's going on. So it's like, I would love to go down there and hit the horror con that's down there like the end of July and take a week and just film whatever needs to get filmed down there and shoot back up. So make it a 2-for-1, sell some stuff for a weekend and then film for the rest of the week. So but,
you gotta sell money. You gotta, what is it? You gotta spend money to make money. You're willing to travel. You're willing to go put the time, the money in, and spend your life. But you're making memories, right? You're making some bucks, spreading your name, dude. I like that you get that drive. I like that you're just not gonna, which is great to just sell in your town or state, but you really do need to kind of promote and go. And that's cool because you're making memories, Ryan. So Ryan, people can see you and follow you on Facebook, correct? That's right. Before we end the show, let's follow where people can follow you. Let's mention that again.
Facebook, Finding Phantoms, or on YouTube, Finding Phantoms Productions. I've got stuff there. TikTok, Findings with a Z15. That's also for Instagram. And then the Sight and Sorrow stuff, that's also on Facebook. So Sight and Sorrow for Facebook, or Sight and Sorrow 6 on TikTok as well.
Just getting
I'd love to go back. I would love to go back.
Let's get him. Ryan's been there, but I was saying, I mean, he's got new shit coming. He's doing his 3D stuff. He's kind of he's got his new film, his new stuff, new places to check out. So if you need Ryan, message him. He's a pretty good dude. Be cool. If not, obviously, message me. I'll talk to you. I'm the middleman. We'll work something out. Let me know what we can do. Get Ryan on your podcast, your show, your convention, your sex orgy. Just kidding. Whatever it takes, man. Just message me. We'll be cool about it. Obviously, I'll talk to him about it first, and we'll work something out. Ryan's a straight shooter. He knows his stuff. He's not going to screw you over. He knows his deal. Yeah, I spewed my shit for an hour. Ryan, anything I left out, brother?
We weren't live this whole time.
Oh, fuck off. These people are like, Ryan. It's funny, you guys. I missed the first few minutes. I'm talking my spiel and I'm introducing Clown, and Ryan's like, blah, 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 blah. I go, oh, Ryan, Ryan, we're not live. He goes, oh, that was a warm up. I go, fuck, and I swear to God, this is my first show. But well, I got another question for you. Let me see. Like, what does Ryan listen to for tunes and shit, man? What do you dig for music? Are you metal? Are you rock, rap, country? I mean,
everything, man. Anything that's good. Anything that it depends on the mood too.
You.
Like, yeah, like I could be like to get the day going at work and stuff. I can have like one earbud in while I work on the machines, and I can like I'll have anything that's going from like pop mashup stuff to just kind of like get the blood flowing and stuff like that to country to rap or metal, anything, just anything.
Name drop one name for me. Name drop Eminem, Yellow Wolf. Name drop Slipknot, Pantera, something, Metallica, something.
Ooh, I would initially have to go with AC/DC as a classic, just because I learned like that was the one band that when I learned guitar I could like play anything, because a lot of their songs are written very like similarly. So that was the one like I could slap on an album and just play along with it.
I hear that a lot, but it's also very catchy, very loud, and of course him doing the whole kick thing is very flamboyant. Oh, yeah. But it's also very easy. Not easy. I shouldn't say that. But it's great to learn, so to speak. Angus Young, rather. I'm sorry. But I mean, it's cool to get some songs for like Maximum Overdrive. They got Hell's Bells and For Those About to Rock and shit. AC/DC did a lot of songs with Stephen King, so that's pretty cool. That's a cool one. I like AC/DC. I can dig that. That's a cool drop. We got a couple more minutes. You don't mind if I steal a minute or two out of you? Is that cool?
Yeah, go ahead.
What does Ryan do for food to celebrate after a big filming or a big haunting? Maybe some big vendorship thing. Do you get a steak, big pizza? What do you get? Ribs, lobster?
Ooh. If there's a pizza place that's real good, I'll do that. But you can't go wrong with a place that's got either good barbecue or a good burger. Can't go wrong.
No, if it's done right. I mean, obviously you don't want to just go to a shithole at fucking 2 a.m. and go, what is this, Denny's? But I mean, at the same time, you're hungry. I get it. But you want to go someplace. I can dig that. No, that's cool. I can dig that. What else do you do for movies besides King? You mentioned that obviously Shawshank, which is a great movie, but who else you got? You got comedies like Cheech and Chong type shit, or?
That's another like wide variety, like anything that's good. I like stuff that's psychological thriller. And yeah, exactly. Anything psychological thriller, like anything with a good story. My favorite kind of movies are like the ones that are a little bit hard to follow along, but then at the end everything gets tied up and you're just like, oh, now I get it. Like I love movies that are written that way.
Okay. Have you seen The Lighthouse yet with not Robert De Niro, but William Dafoe? When they're at the lighthouse and they're locked in there for like months and they go crazy yelling at each other and fucking shit like that. There's no music. It's just them. It was like, what am I watching? The same guy did The Witch with 2 V's with the goat. Mm-hmm. He also did Nosferatu remake. If you've seen that yet. Oh,
yeah, I've started that. I need to finish that, but I'm like,
oh, please do, Ryan. Please do, Ryan. You'll thank me later. Oh, you already all know it. You don't need to thank me. It's fucking fantastic. So you like fine art. You like the good shit. That's why I respect you and I appreciate that. Oh man, I want to ask you something else. I'm just trying to think because I want to keep it going. I'm just let me see. Fucking, it's fun talking to you because you know your shit and you're not afraid to answer questions. I like that. Let me see. Okay, here's a good one. What does Ryan do in his off time when you're not planning something, when you're not filming, when you're not making something, when you're not eating, listening to music? What does Ryan do? Do you play games? Are you a poker player? Do you go just chill out?
I really, for pastime stuff, especially if I've got, like a couple hours something that's on the laser or the printer or whatever, I like to like kill that time with. I'm a huge video game fan, so I'll have anything from. I have the original like 64, so I'll play anything from the N64 up to the Xbox and just anything. So yeah, I have a huge. I have probably more games on like the Xbox hard drive than I could ever play in my life. But yeah, I actually just started getting into again because I started it a long time ago and then just started getting back into the Tomb Raider trilogies.
Oh my God, Laura Croft.
Yeah,
Fantastic. The movie's good too. I love what's her face that plays her. Don't get me wrong, but the game, fucking hours of that. You kidding me? And N64, everything from Zelda to Mario Kart to Mario World. When he gets stuck when he's in the iron suit in the bottom of the ocean or in the lava. Fantastic. So Ryan, if I maybe in a couple months get caught up with you, talk to you some more, would you mind to come back on? Would you mind ever being a co-host for the fuck of it if I could get someone else on or like a third guest?
Yeah,
you're
that'd be
recorded.
great.
That's why I asked that. I always tell people that you're being recorded, so you're under oath. Cool.
Right.
Good to know. So guys, check out Ryan. If you want to get him, like I said, for your show, message me, Historically Hunted Booking. If not, he already mentions his pages. Ryan, I appreciate you joining us, man. That was fucking fun. Forget we got Chris next week. Check out next Thursday, and we're gonna get Ryan on again soon. And yeah, I guess if we're good, you're good. I'm good, my friend.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Hinsdale House has still got the light. I can't believe that in New York it's dark here in Maine.
Right.
Just kidding. Love that.
It's just a light right over that house. It's the UFOs. Just
see that's what I'm saying. Between that and the Native American land, it's not just like it's a haunting. Nah, it's a portal. It's a poltergeist on crack. It's that's a bucket list for me, you lucky bastard. I'd love to just touch on that spoiled. Good man. Ryan, thanks for letting me swear at you for an hour. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you guys for watching. This will be up on YouTube. I'll tag Ryan.